morning has broken, my windows are open. Wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way. Sometimes I give up, just wanna be on my own. Even in the darkest times, you give me hope. So I lean on you when I've lost my way. I keep holding on for a better day. I lean on you when the world's astray. I left my heart open so you hear my prayer. I left my heart open so you hear my prayer. In times that are changing and when hope is fading, I know I can turn to your embrace. 'Cause there's so much beauty under your heaven, and I'm grateful every day. Sometimes I give up, just wanna be on my own. Even in the darkest times, you give me hope. So I lean on you when I've lost my way. I keep holding on for a better day. I lean on you when the world's astray. I left my heart open so you hear my prayer. I left my heart open so you hear my
Hey everybody, it's been a while. I was gonna let um give people a little time to jump on, but this might be one that might want to invite friends for. Um, it's kind of been weighing on my mind for a couple of days now, and stuff has caused me to have to put it off. Um, first of all, can you all hear me okay? Because my mic, it took me forever to get it to light up. I don't even know if it's working right now. Hey, Dragon. Hey, Michelle. Or is it, oh, if you can hear me, let me know. It's been too long. Yeah, just a minute. Okay, I sound a little away. Do I sound closer now? Is that any better? I'll see if I can fix it. How about now? Okay, Michelle, does this sound better? Okay, that sounds good. Well, it's been a very challenging couple of months. Um, guess I'll start at the beginning. Back in September, actually September 26th, around 7:26 that morning, I fell off my porch. Had one of the babies, fell off the porch. It was not good. I ended up tearing my meniscus, my ACL, strained my MCL, and fractured my tibial plateau. Um, I had to have a little work done on it. In between that, then, well, I'd end up going to a couple doctors to even get it took care of. Um, at first, I was on crutches, and I was getting used to the crutches, and I go back to the doctor after they do a scan and say, no, wait, Dan, no, don't be on that leg. So then I had to go into a wheelchair, and then had to go to Lexington, have it fixed, and now I'm hobbling. That's what I call it. That's all. I'm trying to strengthen it back up. Been doing physical therapy. Um, but in the middle of this, I found out I have osteoporosis. So then they decided they was going to do a scan on everything. Well, turns out I've got a lot of old fractures. Um, and then this is hard. One of my closest friends on my dad's side, who I was hoping would be able to see the end of the podcast about Uncle Bob, passed away. And that one hit pretty hard. She don't live near me, so I didn't get to see her quite often enough. But she was an aunt when my mama got sick, and that wasn't even her sister. That was her sister-in-law. When my mama got sick, she moved down here, and she helped me take care of mom, me and my siblings. Um, even though she wasn't living down here when my dad got sick, she was still down here when he needed her. So she was that aunt, the one that you could lean on, the one that would always, she wasn't one of these that always thought they knew what, how you were feeling. But she was definitely there to hear you. In the middle of every bit of this, I kind of shut down. Something about being still was almost impossible. It really, really affected me. It had me in a bad depression. Yeah, and some of it could be woe is me depression. But having to sit, now in the middle of all this, my husband, he comes home, he refuses to go back out to work. He tells his boss, trucking don't own me, but he helps me. I'm trying to keep this together, you all. Just bear with me. But, and I'm pushing my mic away. But he refuses to go back out. That's just how he is. He wasn't going to leave me here not able to do for myself. I mean, I couldn't even get in the bathtub and bath myself. So I was sitting and I was saying, everybody has to do everything for me. And I started feeling useless. And that is one of the worst places that you can be, is when you don't really feel like, and I'm going to be honest with you, the one thing that I could have done during this time is what I'm doing right now. But I was in such a slump that I didn't want to be back. I didn't want to talk to people, even my closest friends. I wasn't talking to them every day. They're in the chat right now. They can tell you I wouldn't. But During this process, I did learn the art of standing still because sometimes we get way too busy in our lives and we don't appreciate everything that we have around us. Um, Simple things like being able to walk, we can take for granted. And those people, fortunately, I got out of the wheelchair. I got off the crutches. I'm hobbling, but I mean, I'm moving around. But I know there's people out there that they're not able to do that. So really, for the last couple of months, I've not even been on YouTube. I've not watched anything. I've heard little bits and pieces about some of the foolishness going on. But as far as watching, I've not. I kind of went into my book reading and everything, and that brings me to now. Put a one in chat if you've been into so many streams and those creators are saying, we care about these kids. Put a one in chat. And y'all know what creators I'm talking about. Screwed everybody off, didn't I? Well, I have. I've seen it dozens of times. So I want to make it kind of in the Christmas spirit. If you do, there's more ways of caring about kids than putting false information and just constantly making a dime on their name. And I realize I may lose a whole lot of subscribers, but it did not surprise me that when I fired back up YouTube and came to the so-called true crime sector of it, that the same junk was just being said over and over and over again. Same stuff that was there in September was there now. Only now we're talking people getting CPS, and when it gets to stuff like that, you get my attention. Because those are not your records. Those are records about a minor. I want to drop this just in case somebody wants to come up. Maybe I'm not the only one feeling like this, but there are so many ways that you can help kids that has nothing to do with you kids. When it comes to helping kids, I feel like I do. I mean, without going into grave detail, I help kids every day. Those kids that have a roof over their head. Because I chose to be a foster mom. Not just to talk about what needed to be done, but I felt it in my soul that it was something I needed to do. Now, I know that is not a fit for everybody. But I imagine in your area, whether you're watching this now or if you end up watching it on the replay, there is a children's home. There is foster care agencies. They take donations. How about logging off for a minute? Just turn your computer off. Go to one of these places. Donate to these kids. Help them have a Christmas. A kid should not go missing for you to care about it. And sadly, that's what it looks like happening. It takes a kid to be missing for everybody to get all up in arms. But you know what? There is thousands and thousands that are needing help now. Why wait till they're missing? Maybe it's the kid next door. Maybe you see it all the time, walking around in what you may call wore out shoes. Instead of telling people about it, go out and buy it some. YouTube is not the only way to help kids. Now, is there anything wrong with sharing out these kids' flyers and stuff? No. No, I am all for that. Get their face out there. Don't let their names be forgotten. But you don't have to go live every single day, making speakers, getting speaker chat, membership, ad revenue off the names of these poor children. It don't need to happen. Right now, you know something, when I was looking the other day, I noticed there's a whole lot of you that has over 10,000 subscribers. So without doing a GoFundMe, and some of you do GoFundMe, you could drop a link directly to an organization and do a fundraiser. How about that? If you're going to have a cater live, how about you do that? If you're truly not in it just for the money. Now, I don't care about people making money on YouTube, but there is a point that you need to ask yourself, is this morally right? Hey, Cat Michelle, it would be nice to see the ones with a lot of subs have a feeling charity. Yes, growing the right. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, Michelle, you are absolutely right. Do that. Thank you. There's a lot of charities out there. It don't have to be all about the super chat. You don't have to be dropping your cash out saying you're going to help somebody. And I'm not thinking of no individual person, okay? I'm not, because like I said, I ain't watched a whole lot of this junk. I had to make a rule for myself that business hours for food crimes stop at 5 p.m. for me, unless I have a live or panel to do. All drama and BS, just is too much. You're right. It is. It's too much. It's too much. But now, like I said, if you're covering multiple children and showing their flyers, man, I commend that. What I'm talking about is putting the same missing kid's name in your title every single day and it saying breaking news when there ain't nothing breaking or news. Making mountains on molehills, gagging out of that while you swallow a camel. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Yeah. So if I don't do foster care, what can I do? Well, I got some notes here. Okay. What can I do to help? There's several ways. First of all, let me inform you of something. A lot of these kids do not have duffel bags. They don't have luggage. When they come into your home, they come with a shopping bag and everything they have normally fits in. That's a good idea. Buy some of those. Take it to the local foster care agency. They will give it out to them. National organizations like National Foster Parents Association, Foster Care Alumni of America, the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, accept donations. Stuff that you could buy, clothing and essentials. Around this time, toys. But now let me tell you something. A lot of these kids like the journal, and it's a way they can express themselves. You would be amazed how many of them actually dislike paper. Hoodies, they find that as a comfort item. A lot of times when a kid gets anxious, one of the things that I swear is a hoodie. Doesn't even matter if it's July. Smile blanket. But it's Christmas, and I think that we could help out more than what we are. Sure, whatever. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying, Duchess. There is a lot of people that have over 10,000 subscribers that could do a fundraiser. Legit. I mean, a legit fundraiser where it goes straight to that organization and not to a creator's pocket, where then you have to wonder. I mentioned foster care because I'm a foster parent. I know these kids. They could use a lot of help. They could. Don't have the money. Volunteer to be a mentor, a tutor. There is several ways of helping. There's also organizations like Make-A-Wish. There's organizations like St. Jude. Whatever you find passionate, do that this holiday season. Even if it's for one child. I know in my area they've got all kinds of kids that you can take and sponsor right at Walmart. They've got their little list, what they ask Santa for. Be that angel that helps fill that list. Something that I do want to shout out, but I want to make sure I got it right. A lot of you know that I cover Elena Hendry's case, and there is a sweet lady that is in our group. She's got a group of her own. It's called Elena's Angels. And she said, made a post on the 5th. All of our little angels have been sponsored. Once again, you all never fail to amaze me and bring some joy in some today who may not have had a joyful Christmas. Thank you to everyone who donated, helped, and sent money to help buy these babies their gifts. And what she does is every year she finds families in need. She will take and get sizes, clothes, like here's an example. I don't know if you can ever see that or not. But on that it's boy, age 10, wears 12-14 clothes, 7 years shoes, needs jacket, socks, and underclothes. Loves Legos, trucks, trailers, backhoes, and hats. Favorite color is blue. Now this thing, if we would make it a tradition, how to do that every year? We just find kids and help them have a Christmas. Some parents get real hard. I saw that and it tickled me to death. Because Haley is a great person. And I mean, I thought, Crystal, You could have been doing more. You thought sitting still, the only thing you could do was you could. And you didn't do that. You could have been doing more. But nope, I decided to feel sorry for myself. And I know myself. I want to do that. I want to help sponsor a family, make sure they have Christmas. I did do that with food, but I'd like to do it with the kids too, as far as toys. Hey, Roxy, but we see a lot of garbage. So why don't listen turning around, you all? Because what I see right now is not true crime. It's not. And if we care about these kids, then why not care about them before they can listen to? Again, nothing wrong with showing these kids flyers. Nothing wrong with telling their stories. Not a thing wrong with that. But if we genuinely want to make a difference, then we have to start with how we treat other people. Maybe I ain't scared. Maybe you're standing in line, that person next to you looks down. A kind word goes a long way. Becky, you're Michelle, want to come up? Oh, what? Yeah. Artie, you want to come up? And I don't mean to just sound like I'm a frightened. I'm not. I honestly think that we could be a very powerful group of people. Okay, Michelle. I think we could be a very powerful group of people if we use the resources and for good instead of going after people. I've noticed a running trend. You take two creators at each other's throat and they both get subbed. You ask why people watch more drama. Well, or why they do it. That's why. I'm not going to give up my morals and my dignity just to get subbed. I'm not going to do it. I think that if we actually care, then there's more ways than one to help. I mean, when you think about the kids that don't really get to have a Christmas, those kids are important too. And again, I don't want nobody going away from this live saying, oh, Coco's Christmas is wasting my time, we're doing it wrong. No, I'm not saying that. If you're showing flyers and you're telling the kids stories, fine. But when it goes off the rails to where people say, I've got these CPS records, again, if you do, please let me know. I would love to know that. Because I'll straight up tell you, I will turn you in. Because that is not yours. It's not even the parents. A lot of times you need a lawyer to get those documents. So I'd like to know who handed them over to you. Hello, Jackie. I mean, and then here's another prime example of what I saw just in the last 2 days. The green hoodie guy. Well, that turned into the green hoodie girl. Which is it? And do you honestly think that it would be smart to put out a picture of a probably innocent person to be harassed? But of course, I'd say a lot saying, why not? We've done it before because you have. And quite frankly, it's getting old. It's getting old. It's not helping nothing. Who are your drama queens may be sitting back there watching your channel because you're doing this kind of foolishness. It's people that actually care. They can't even find the real news for all this junk. You want me to prove it? Give me a second. I will. Won't take me but one minute to prove this little fact. Okay, here we go. Let me try to share my screen. Y'all ready for this? Because when you just Google Sebastian Rogers' name, this is the junk you run into now. Disturbing secrets behind the new footage of Sebastian Rogers. Well, you know, I remember right at the beginning that Texas Roadhouse was looked at by the police. So how is this new footage? It's not. And I'm not even paying attention to whose channel I'm reading off. But this is junk that you get to see. Oh my God. Shocking me update. Well, that one might, if I know her, she's probably saying that it ain't an update. Sebastian Rogers, we will find you. Training at Christmas Eve. Let me just, that's just that. Let's see here. Let's see what happens if I look at another missing kid. Okay. Now that's Court TV. What most likely happened? Well, the neighbor evidently. Neighbor is somewhere else. I know it says she heard a scream. How old is that? Yeah, that's 3 years old, you all. And I guarantee if I hadn't hit that little bitty box that says I don't want to see this, I would be seeing a lot more. It would be nice if people would tell time. It took approximately 22 seconds for KP and self-included. Yeah, so a lot of it I don't know. I sound muffled, Becky. Do I sound muffled now? Let me check my sound. Is this better? Let me know that. Is this better? Or is this better? Okay, can you hear me at all now? Still? Just a second. Let's see what's going on. It keeps defaulting. Okay. Why? Let me see if it. I don't know where it's doing this stuff. You might come up and help me here. It keeps defaulting back to my. Just a second. Time out. Okay, let's see if I fixed it. Yes, technical difficulties. How's this? Let me know. Sounds loud and clear. I don't know what it was. I guess it was my webcam. It was defaulting it back. I'm sure turning my camera off now. Now can I start over? Oh Lordy. I don't know. I was on a rant. Oh, Lordy. But no, it's a shame that when you go to look for these kids to find an update, you have to sort through the misinformation and the drama to even find anything out about them. Thought I was in a hole. No, well, you should have threw me a rope, sister. And in case I was so far down in that hole when people heard this the first time, kids should not have to go missing for us to care about them. If all the creators that say they care about kids, they're doing this for these kids, these missing persons, practice that in your daily life. A lot of creators have over 10,000 subs. They can do a legit fundraiser. St. Jude's, numerous. There is numerous fundraisers that you can do out there. If we're going to make a change, it has to start with each and every one of us individually. Not this garbage that you see. I mean, yeah, you're going to get, if you're going backwards and forward with another creator, you may get a lot of people into your chat, but is it the people that you want in there? Because if you're really in it, if you're really doing this for these kids, then you want people that are not really all about fighting backwards and forward. And you know what? It ain't just the true crime sector. I will make this challenge to all YouTube creators. I don't care if you're covering true crime. I don't care if you're in the low scale community. I don't care if you're a gamer playing a game. Instead of dropping your cash apps and just monetizing the crap out of everything and going 5 and 6 hours a day talking about the same thing that has been regurgitated over and over and over again, get out here and sponsor one of these poor underprivileged children. There's children's home. They take down donations. They could use your help. I help donate food for a family to have a Christmas dinner. That's something we can all do. And a lot of times you can do it right at your own grocery store. Now, I don't want people to not know the actual, because I am a foster mom. And why do I do it? I do it because I love kids. I want to make a difference. There is some organizations you can Google in your area, the foster care organizations. Donate directly to the local organization that is in the area that you are in, or national organizations. Again, I'm going to name those because evidently I fell in a hole. National Foster Parent Association, Foster Care Alumni of America, and the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoptions. It's all of those accept donations. Children's home in your area. I highly recommend that one. Because a lot of times when these kids come into your home, I say a lot of times, I will be honest with you, I've never had one to come into my home that actually had a duffel bag or luggage. They come into your home with a shopping bag, something that you would get from maybe the dollar store to bring your items out. Those shopping bags. I'm not talking garbage bags. And everything that they own is in those bags. as if showing up to a brand new place isn't hard enough. We can do better. That's something that I have said since I have been on this platform. We can do better. And I'm throwing myself in there too. I mean, like I said, a kid shouldn't have to go missing for you to care about it. Of course, there's probably not as much there's not as much drama wrapped around the kids that you see next door. You have underprivileged children right in your own community. Talk to those parents. Any way I can help you? It's the holidays. And you've got creators going at each other's throat. What is your life like? Log off. Log off and do something good, for crying out loud. We could honestly be a very powerful community. And like I said, I may lose every sub I have, but you know what? If you walk, then you weren't meant to be here anyway. Because if it takes me getting into a ditch and arguing around with another creator over junk, you're not going to see that here. You know, when I did get into foster care, it was because of Summer Wells. That's what really got my mind just, well, really set it hard on my heart. First thing I did was make the Summer Wells challenge. Because I was seeing these chats and there was thousands in there. Now, given a lot of that was drama too, but I didn't understand this true crime stuff back then. But I thought, well, nobody knows where she is. If we all put up one flyer, that's thousands. That was my thinking. It didn't take long. Did not take long at all to figure out that nothing's going to get solved on YouTube. The immediate help isn't going to come on YouTube. And sometimes you got to get in front of the problem. So me and my husband prayed about it, and we became foster parents. And am I going to say that it's been the easiest thing that I've ever done? No, it hasn't. My home is a medical complex home. So normally the kids that we get, they've got physical or mental disabilities. But it's so worth it. At the end of the day, these kids give me more joy than I could have ever imagined. They have brought into my life something that I needed that I didn't know I needed. And I know there's a lot of people out there that's going to say, well, I just don't think I could do that. I would get too attached. I'm going to give you a secret. You're supposed to. You're supposed to get attached. If you can bring a child into your home and not get attached to that child, you probably shouldn't be in foster care. And believe it or not, every parent that has a kid in foster care, it isn't because they did grievous things. It's not always because they've abused their children. I saw both. Some of them got down on their luck. Some of them could have used just a little bit of help. You know, originally that's what foster care was for. It's a shame that now the majority is because the kid has been neglected or abused. But originally it was to help parents that did get down on their luck. Exactly. Everyone wants to blame CPS. What are those doing that are doing the blaming? They're complaining. Not doing anything really to make a change. And like I said, I know that being a foster parent isn't for everyone, but there is so many ways you can help. There's a mentorship. You can volunteer to be a mentor. You got a special skill? Or are you a teacher? I've seen a lot of those on here. Do you know how bad they need tutors? That's an out-of-pocket cost. There's costly. Volunteer through them. Be their voice. Help make changes in the system. There is so many other ways that we can help kids other than getting on YouTube and going backwards and forwards with another creator acting like we all know everything when we don't. How many people remember the Leilani Simon trial? Who all watched it? Put a 1 in chat. I know Michelle watched it. You know what I was real surprised about? None of the junk that I was seeing on YouTube was really mentioned in that trial. Everybody thought they had it all figured out. No. Law enforcement did a pretty good job at it all on their own. They didn't need no creator to help them. A few things did happen, from creators during that. I mean, some poor little old man that was on hospice didn't get to stay his final days at home because people wanted to scream through a bullhorn. They wanted to get out there and show themselves in front of somebody's house without facts about anything. But no, the YouTubers protesting just so they know. It didn't help anything. Didn't. Sure didn't. If you haven't watched the case, go watch it. You'll find out how little we knew. Kind of seeing the same thing going on now. Bunch of showboats. Acting like their heart's all in it. Don't pee down my back and tell me it's raining. The only thing you're worried about, and I'm not talking about all creators, I'm talking about the ones doing the nonsense, the craziness. The only thing you're caring about is how many cash apps you can get, how many super stickers you can get. And boy, are you ramping it up now. They sure did, Michelle. They won. They had it under control. They won. But you see, a little something has to happen. They have to gather enough evidence when there is a case to be able to actually take it to trial and win. Because what happens if you don't? Anybody know? What happens if you don't? Right here. This right here happens if you don't. See this man right here? Standing between the tall guy with the cigarette, happened to be my good daddy, the one with the blue hat beside of him. They took a man to court. Sure did. He got off. That's been 37 years ago. Justice still hasn't been served. There's a little thing called a double jeopardy law. See, Michelle, you need to come up because me and you right on the same line of thinking right now. Hey, Shad. Is it Shaddy or Shaddy? Hello. Ain't got my glasses on right now. Shady. I mean, and that's me talking, and I have not been watching it, you all. I've not what my good friends that talk to me every day right now are in this chat. They can tell you I don't know much about nothing that's going on. If I'm being honest, I checked out of that a long time ago. Not really wanting to hear all the drama. What this one's saying about this one. Well, this one's doxing this one. What's it helping? Is it because you're on the internet? Would you really do that in real life? Because I really like to think that there isn't that many idiots out there in this world. Just go around giving people's information out. Making mountains out of molehills. I stay away from drama myself. I took Dutch's advice. Stay in my lane. Yeah. Yep. I know a lot of times we get passionate about these cases. We want to defend them, the cases, and sometimes the best thing you can do is just not support the people that is running with narratives. Because there's not a YouTuber going to walk up to anybody and put handcuffs on them. They're not. And the very same people that say, I'm here because I care. I'm doing this live because I care. And then they stay on that live for 8 and 9 hours. And then tomorrow come back and do a 4-hour one. What are you doing with your own family? Do you not care about them? They needing to eat at some point. Are you not fixing supper? Do you clean your house? Because, I mean, I really don't know how you do it. I don't know how you stay on these lives that long and actually function. I would be inclined to say that some people need to worry about their own kids. You know, when I was growing up, there was a little commercial. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Well, maybe they need to bring that one back. This live I've had planned for, had to reschedule 4 days in a row. Do you know why I did that? Because my children needed my attention. They needed me. So this needed to wait until I had free time to do it. Just so happens I got time today. I mean, I think a good deed should be able to be done without people boasting that they do it. So I do. I put this challenge out there. Do something good. Donate to an organization. Help a family that needs help during this holiday season. Help an elderly person get their groceries. How about that? Have you ever thought about that little old lady that lives next door to you? Maybe she could use a little help. Don't even have to be a kid. But for crying out loud, if you've got 8, 9 hours out of the day to sit and go backwards and forwards, just nitpicking photos, then you've got time to do better. Amen. Yep. Don't do it to say, look at me. Get your rewards in heaven or on earth. That is absolutely the truth. But also, people, realize that everything you do on this YouTube streaks, you will answer for one of these days. I agree 100%. Some out there needs help. Elderly, adults, kids, homeless, pets. Do something to help change the world. Amen. I can guarantee you that sitting in a seat behind a computer, talking into a microphone about somebody, trying to make them out to be a villain, when honestly, they probably just needed a little bite to eat that day. That ain't helping no one. I'm going to drop the link again. If somebody wants to come up, come up. I also want to say that if nothing changes later on tonight, I may be able to go live and let's talk about RFK, his assassination. Because there is some things that really, have blown my mind with that case. None of it has happened. That's right, Duchess. That's right. I thought about talking about it in this live, but no, I had this on my heart, and I wanted to let everybody know where I've been. I am doing better. I do thank you all for your prayers, your kind words. And but now on my second channel, we may start reviewing books. May have us a little book club on Hold My Halo. I am going to get back to my uncle's case, but it's going to have to wait till after the holidays, y'all. And holidays are hard. They are. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they're not. I think it is a good idea. People may like that. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I've been wondering what to do with my second channel, and that might be just what I do with it. But for anyone that has lost anybody during this time of the year, that wound is a little deeper. There is a plate at the kitchen table that's empty. That spot's empty. Routines get broke. What you used to look forward to, you start to begin to dread. I mean, I know as far as my life goes, my life has changed drastically since 2005. It started with when I lost my kids. Then I lost my mama. Then that very next year on New Year's Eve, I lost my sister. And then the next year, I lost my dad. So the holidays are harder. But our loved ones wouldn't have us sit and mourn them through these holidays. They would want us to remember and carry on the same way as if they were here. Make new memories, make new routines, make new traditions. Pass all those lovely things that the loved one you no longer have, pass that on to your kids. Don't let it die with our generation. And you know, I can always remember my mom making fruit baskets. She would stay up till late making homemade candy and fruit baskets. And everybody that was an elderly person in our holler got one. And by all means, we weren't rich. Nope. But she did it. Somehow she made a way. And I know if my poor little old mama can do it, there's a lot of people out there right now that can. I guess my biggest point that I wanted to make is if we have time to do all the nonsense and all the foolishness, then we have time to do something good for someone. Kind of like this lady that is in Elena's group. She has a group, y'all. I encourage you to join it. It's Elena's Angels. The group, I mean, she's in Elena's Voice, the one that I have, but in honor of Elena, every year she sponsored, I think it's 30 families. She gets sponsors for them. They get clothes, necessities, and then at the end of the little list, it says what they want for Christmas, what they're interested in, what they like. And people pick those and they purchase it so that kid can have Christmas. That's one lady. Imagine what a whole community like us could do. Kindness don't cost anything. I've always said that. I've always actually ended my lives with it takes zero effort to be a good human being. But I'm going to be honest with you. I refuse to sit back and watch and support people that just all they want to do is the drama. I'm not into all that. I cover cold cases because they aren't covered very often. And if you think it's hard going a year, 2 years, 6 months, 3 years, and not having answers as to who, what, or why something happened to your loved one, imagine 37 years. Those people matter too. And I have a cold case in my family that I cover on this channel. So that's where my passion is. But now you come to this channel, that's what you're going to get. Cold cases with facts behind them. I won't crawl in the gutter for nobody. I've been called fake before when I'm one of the most real people that you'll ever lay your eyes on. Was accused of taking donations from Sebastian's billboards. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you know what? I have funded a whole lot of billboards by myself. People like Duchess, Michelle, Allie, those people, when they found out that I was running a billboard, yes, they may have gave me money to help, but it didn't come from Sebastian. Not one time have I ever asked for a Cash App to be dropped. Not one time. Now, am I saying there's anything wrong with people that do? No, I'm not. But if you're beating it in the head every single day, then yeah, it's a problem. You see, you may wonder, well, how did you get accused of that? Because the creator decided that she was going to turn my dear friend Dutch's words around and make mountains out of molehills. You won't find no 100 ads on my videos. I'm not monetized. Don't plan on it. Again, not knocking the people that is. It's a choice I've made. Now, if I start reading books on that backup channel, I may monetize that sucker. Yeah, there may be some things that I don't do on the internet that you might hear me if you talk to me in real life. But I'll tell you why. because I don't use bathroom words and stuff like that on here. I can't control who watches it. Once it's out there in the universe, I can't control who clicks on this video. And I don't want my kids watching it if I was a cussing and stuff in it. So guess what? I don't want yours to either. I control myself. I mean, I didn't believe you or Duchess for doing anything wrong. I didn't. Oh. Well, I believe a lot of people didn't believe it. Or I sure hope they didn't. But, I mean, if we've got real sleuths, all they got to do is come back to this channel, watch them. All my videos are up. But, I mean, this particular person is known for drama. She comes out of bushes. That's what she comes out for. Start trouble. I very seldom do lives like this one. But somebody needs to say it. And I appreciate it too. I really do. Like I said, I don't think there is a thing in the world wrong with like Duchess. She covers a lot of people. Arctic Fox covers a lot of people. Jason covers a lot of people. They don't just beat the same case over the head 101 times. And they sure ain't out here doing all this nonsense, trying to find out, blow up pictures of probably innocent people, trying to see who they are, you know. And then all of a sudden find out, well, that wasn't a man. That was a woman. But I will say this. When it comes to these kids, I do care. And you don't want me to hear you say that you have CPS records. Trust and believe that one. Because not only am I a foster mom, I work right along beside a CPS. So go ahead. Admit you got those records. The day they pop up on the internet, you might wish you didn't have those records. Prime example. Let me ask you something. Duchess, can I use you as an example? Going to, sorry. If Duchess committed a crime, is the evidence they have against her hers, or does it belong to the state? I'll give you a minute. We've got a winner. We have got a winner right here. They belong to the state. Now, let's say
let's just theorize for a minute, okay? What if what everybody was saying is true and Green Hoodie Guy Girl, that's what I'm gonna call it because it started out with Green Hoodie Guy, now it's Green Hoodie Girl, I guess. But Green Hoodie Guy Girl was the culprit. Now you gonna blow their face up, put them on the internet, and say you know everything, but yet you gonna stand there and act like you care about Sebastian when you could have potentially just put his life in danger. Are you a moron? The answer to that would be yes. Yes, you are. And then you want to say you care about that kid. You care about that young man. No, you don't. No, you don't. That is ridiculous. Are you kidding me, Dutch? Why? Why? Because they probably eat a steak and salad that day? For my God. Well, how about this? How about this? Everybody that's went to the Texas Roadhouse before, don't matter what state, because I mean this is YouTube. You could be doing that teleportation. I don't know. Raise your hand up. Come forward. That is crazy. It's crazy. Not kidding. This is interference. Yes, it is. And it's dangerous. That is dangerous. Yep. You have to really care about that kid. I tell you what, with friends like that, you don't need no enemies. Lord have mercy. And that is my point. That is, I mean, it's very dangerous. Everything they are saying is dangerous. I can't imagine. I just see the title. Seen one title saying Green Hoodie Guy and then seen nothing, Green Hoodie Girl. I'm thinking, yep, we got real professionals. My thought is if law enforcement thought it was important, they would have asked for public help. Anyone wearing that? Yes, I mean, they would have. Let's don't act like it's new footage, y'all. Seth went on the panel and said he went that day and he was real happy about it. He went that day and watched that video with law enforcement. He said that before I got tired of this nonsense. So, my goodness. I'm worried what they are doing and saying. In this case, might cause someone to get hurt. Yeah, it could. And I'm going to throw this out here. You know what, people? I don't know what happened. Straight up, I don't. I don't know if he walked off. I don't know if he was kidnapped. I don't know if one of the three parents was involved. I don't know. But let me let you in on a secret. They don't either. They have no clue. but they're willing to crucify people just on a hunch. I'm not. Can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, Michelle, you hit it right up on the head. How many people, really, how many people have green hoodies? I do. I got a green hoodie. And they can't say, we've got great photos. We know exactly. Because, I mean, again, hoodie guy girl. It's ridiculous. But I can tell you this, if none of the parents had anything to do with this, you won't see people out here apologizing for accusing them. Because that would take too much. That would take way too much respect and morals. They'll find another reason they went at them. They deserved it for some other reason. And notice I'm saying they, because this little girl is not on either side. No, I want Sebastian home. That's what I want. I want him to be found. Yeah, that's a good question too, Michelle. Like I said, you need to be up here, sister. It shows they don't care about this case when they want to just beat it in the head with a stick. I mean, every single day. Y'all ain't got no breaking news. The only thing breaking is people's nerves. And our patience with it. And some of y'all, some of the subs' bank account might be breaking. I mean, it went from sending simple super chats to having to start paying for attorneys. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know I am. There's enough good out there that can be done. If people care about these kids, go out and do it. Put your money where your mouth is. Or put your actions where your mouth is. Put anything where your mouth is if it shuts you up. Because if all you're going to do is spew lies, nobody wants to hear that. Except for your little drama parade that you got going behind you. There's a lot of those people. It is really sad. It is. I guess what hurts more than anything. You know, while covering my uncle's case, his daughter came on panel, my cousin, and she made a comment. She said, I appreciate this, being able to read the chat and us all talking about this case together because it makes me think of things that maybe I wouldn't have thought of. Maybe it brings things out that maybe I overlooked. Opinions. Maybe, she was fine with people's opinions, with the open discussion. And I was thinking, you know what? When she said that, And this is how sad it has gotten. I thought, I wish everywhere was like that. Because there's very few where you can openly discuss without being drug filth. But now we were looking at court documents. I mean, legit facts. What people legit said. We wasn't sitting there speculating. And we sure didn't invent no green, purple, yellow, black, blue hoodie guy. Yeah, whatever. But the sad thing is, and I've saw this with other channels, when you are talking about facts, hardcore facts, the ones you can pop up on a screen, nobody can dispute, the real ones, people don't want to watch that. If you get 30 people in your chat, you're doing good. But Lord, you make up some elaborate story, and you'll get 1,000 in there wanting to hear it. Well, there won't be 1,000 in here because I'm no bedtime storyteller. I don't sit around talking about fairy tales. But I just might talk about RFK tonight. I might do that if I get the opportunity. I may come because we found all kinds of information about his assassination, didn't we, Michelle? A treasure trove of it. That's real interesting. And I mean, y'all know me. History's right down my alley. So if it takes me away from some of this harder core stuff, then it was sad. But I mean, there's a lot that I've really not saw. And when I say I jumped into the rabbit hole with the Kennedys, I did. I'm very disappointed, just like LBB went live. I don't even know who's LBB. And went live and said, oh, yeah. Yeah, man, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I didn't put it together because guess what? I don't watch her. I don't watch her. Unless you say my name, it gets back to me. Then I'll come out like Candyman. But no. What they're doing is people's trying to make money. That's what they're doing. And it's not just her. I mean, there's a lot. A lot couldn't fit their own underwear. They couldn't with a magnifying glass. I guess it's the race to be the first one to put it out. They say they research and do this. Can't respect that more than, yeah. Me neither. Me either. I mean, just a second. I'll show y'all something. I'll show you an example of facts. Small example here. Let me see. Okay. This is an example of what it's like to actually show facts. That is a transcript of a court hearing. Facts. You can't deny it. You can't dispute it. What was said is said. And that's it. It's emailing the creators to put it out. It's a smear campaign. Not one to find Sebastian, in my opinion. It's so sad that that kid's been lost in all of this. And every bit of this, that child has been lost. Dutchie, can you come up for a minute? Because I know you got ready a flyer. I know my sister's got a flag. Here we go. Hello, girl.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, just a second. I can't hear her, but I know why I can't. Give me just a minute.
I'm not on my laptop, so if I need to get on my laptop, I can.
No, you're good. You're good. I still had my my webcam and my speakers plugged up, so it was still going through all that. I had unplugged that, not the webcam, but the speakers. Do you care to
Okay.
show his? Do you care to share his flyer, because we've talked about him, and even though it's been as an example of the nonsense that's been going on, I don't want to talk about that nonsense and not actually show a flyer that has some facts on it.
Yeah, let me get on my laptop so I can do that because I'm on my phone and I can't share anything when I'm on my phone. Let me see if I can get over here on my laptop. Give me just a minute. Phew, my hand is killing me. So I'm a little slower than usual. I have to do everything left-handed. My dog pulled me down, and I broke my entire nail, like my real nail and my fake nail.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I was walking the dog right when you were going live. I was trying to hurry up and get back, and she saw a squirrel, and that was the end of that.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but I just think that
yeah,
in my
yeah. The neighbor heard me hollering and came over there to get me. It was not good at all. My whole hand is turning black. My three fingers, and it's on my right hand, which is like I'm right-handed. So, oh my god, it's always something. All right, hang on. I'm gonna try to come up on my laptop. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, girl. We did tell her, Michelle. We told her small dog. When she said broke, I was like, oh goodness, because that sends me into a panic anymore. Ever since my great big fall off the porch. For those of you that didn't hear me because I was in a hole, that's where I've been. I fell off the porch in September and I tore my meniscus. I cannot pronounce that word. I strained my MCL, tore my ACL, and I fractured my tibial plateau. So it's been a whole mess. And then it took a long time to get them to. I went to one doctor that didn't seem to know what he was doing, so I had to get a referral, and finally got sent to an orthopedic that knew what he was doing, and now I'm in physical therapy. They just had to fix it a little bit, and I'm healing. I can't complain. Praise God. But it did have them to do a bone density scan on me, in which they found out I had osteoporosis, and they did another scan on me and found out that I had old fractures too in my hips, and it's been a whole mess. So I went from crutches to wheelchair to crutches to hobbling. I'm hobbling. And Michelle and Dutch was getting on to me because I was scooting to clean. But that's just who I am. Me too, Michelle. Me too. Sitting still was hard. It was very hard. If you all would be interested on my backup channel in reviewing books, put a 1 in chat. I would like to have everybody's opinion on it while we're waiting on Dutch. And put a 2 in chat if you would be interested in a live stream about RFK tonight. Well, we just might do that then. Because now I'm telling you, I have read some awesome books. Great books. Like I said, I've been down this Kennedy. Just a second. Let me see here. I've been down this Kennedy rabbit hole. And this is one of 5. But I have found some great books. Great. I mean, absolutely great. One is The Other Mrs. Kennedy. Highly recommend it. And Ask Not, The Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed. That is a very good book. I've also read Lisa Presley's memoir. Yeah, that was very, very, very surprising. If you haven't read it, it is From Here to the Great Unknown, and it is awesome. I highly recommend that book. That's some of the books that we'll be going over. Because they are intense. Very. Which, of course, reading those books is how I ended up in the RFK rabbit hole. Okay. And I guess that's my chair, y'all. I guess I need to oil it. Yeah, that's what I've had to do. Take one day at a time. And I mean, I've had good days, I've had bad days. but everybody does. Like I said, for me, standing still was the hardest thing. Having to rely on other people, very hard for me to do. That's not who I am, is it, Michelle? Michelle says, no, it's not. I do appreciate y'all for being here, by the way. I know I feel plumb out of the algorithm, so. But like I said, I haven't done a live since September. I think it was. There's Zetty.
That took me long enough, didn't it? I
Welcome back.
apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
I apologize. Can you hear me okay? Does my microphone sound okay?
You sound fine to me.
Okay, I apologize. My mom called and she had to check in about taking her medications. So I do apologize for the delay in that. Let me share my screen and I'll show you this is the latest flyer that I actually uploaded for Sebastian.
Go ahead and read that off, Dutch. Because I want
Says
people to
Miss.
have, I mean, we've talked about him. So I want
Okay.
people to have the information on him.
Sure. And it says missing. Have you seen Sebastian Rogers, endangered teen, autistic, Amber Alert out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, 22624. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, age 15, male, Caucasian, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 113 pounds, and it has his NCIC number and to call 1-800-TBI-FIND on this particular flyer. Just simple and to the point. And I've also shared this on my YouTube community wall along with his FBI flyer. I usually share these together because I think it's important to know that the reward fund is $50,000. I did see that Dog the Bounty Hunter put up a tweet yesterday basically stating that the green hoodie person needed to come forward and that time was running out. So if you want to collect the $250,000 reward, you need to do it while it's still there. And I feel like that that's really not good because you're taunting money at the holidays for people who might be in a desperate situation and it might cause them to do desperate things. I just didn't feel like that was very good. Like either you have a reward or you don't. Like it's either on the table or it's not. So to dangle that over somebody like, hey, time's running out, you better hurry up and get your tip in. I just don't like that at all. That makes me very nervous. I feel like this is getting dangerous. What if this person is just an innocent bystander?
Like I said, probably just there to eat a steak. I mean,
think about the CEO shooter situation. You have somebody that took matters into their own hands and decided to go out and plan this situation to take care of it. Vigilante justice. What happens if somebody is listening to this and they're thinking in their mind, they are convinced with listening to some of these creators that this is actual factual information, even though none of it's been vetted by law enforcement, none of it's been released by law enforcement, that the parents are guilty of anything, that they have red rummed him or that all of these crazy things that they've come up with, we don't know if that's factual. And it's extremely dangerous, because what if you have a person that's only taking in this, and they're already not in a good mental state, and they go out and say, "You know what? I'm just going to take matters into my own hands because we're not getting the answers." And what if these parents
Dutch,
are
can you
innocent?
explain something to me?
Sure.
Do you remember when Ryan Up Church was coming on, and everybody like drug him for filth because he had so many followers and was well known, and they, what is the difference? Because he claims to be a bounty hunter. What's fair for Peter's fair for Paul, ain't it?
That's right. None of those things matter. It's about the behavior and the things that put other people's lives in jeopardy. Like, listen, people can have their opinions, but to harass, stalk, slander a family without the evidence, I think people thought they knew exactly what was going on in Leilani Simon's case too, and nobody thought law enforcement was doing their job. And look what happened. Same thing in Cash Gernon's
Yeah.
case, and a lot of other cases. Like, we don't think law enforcement's doing their job, and it's just because they aren't required to tell the public anything that they know. They might have information that they are investigating, but we are not entitled to know that information for a reason. And I prefer it to be that way, because if somebody is actually responsible for the disappearance of Sebastian, then they need to be brought to justice. And the only way that can happen is for law enforcement to, stay on the case, not release information unless it's something that they need from the public, because they've got to get that evidence nailed down, and as much as possible, before they present it to the court and make an arrest. And we don't know what they have. We don't know what they know. But mind
No.
you, Nick Barris made a post last week that he spoke with the sheriff's office in Sumner County, and they told him that there was no new leads at this time, and they were still investigating. So all of this breaking news that I keep seeing on people's thumbnails about Sebastian's case, these people are willing
It's
to
hogwash.
put their integrity on the line and just make up stuff. I don't know how these people lay their head on their pillows at night.
Their
Where's the facts?
integrity was
Where's the
gone a long
receipts?
time ago. Their integrity was gone a long time ago. Now they would sell their soul for a super chat.
That's exactly what I said in Nonsense's chat yesterday. These people are literally selling their soul for clicks, views, and to make money, because for what? You've got to be kidding me. I'm sorry, but I cannot let these people change who I am. That's not who I am at my core. That is not my character. I am my authentic self, and I am not going to change for anybody.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. I've been accused of a lot of things.
Yeah,
I've
same.
been accused of being fake. But I'm probably one of the most real people that you want to talk to, because
Yeah.
me and Dutch don't agree 98% of the time. We're adult enough to talk, and we're adult enough to, agree to disagree sometimes. But
Mhm.
I'm sure she'd tell you, if you want real, I'm as real as it comes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure God not no grifter.
And she ain't worried about hurting your feelings either, friend or not. So she's just gonna
Not.
tell you. She gonna, and I like that, because we keep it real with each other. Because friends tell friends the hard stuff. You know why? Because they care about you. Because if they didn't care, they wouldn't say a word. They'd just sit there and watch you downfall. And I will not forget, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but I have to just say this. Crystal, I don't know if you remember this, but Lolly said back in the Summer Wells case, if you ever catch me doing this stuff that they're doing to Don and Candace Wells and acting like I ain't got no sense and going after parents and accusing them of stuff that's not true and calling names and all of this, I hope somebody will come to me and hold me accountable and tell me that what I'm doing is wrong. Well, Lolly, this is that time. Here we are.
I remember it. I remember it very well,
I
actually,
remember it
because
crystal clear. I can go to the damn live stream. She
oh
actually
well,
said that.
it's on mine. It's on mine. I actually
Yeah, and I think you
put
played
that.
it too. Because when she,
I
I mean,
did. But
I remember when that happened, and I was thinking to myself, what changed? What changed? Because I'm a mother of a son, and I can't imagine somebody doing to me what's being done to Katie. Like, you got to reciprocate what you doing to others as you would have done unto you. You're supposed to love thy neighbor. This is none of that. This is just a bunch of gossip and browbeating. And that's what brings me to, I believe it was hubby and I were talking about it, and we were talking about, I think it was Second Thessalonians, where, you know, God talks about these people. He lets them see what they want to see, and it might not be the it might be lies, you know, that they're being deceived. But he allows that because they've chosen the path of sin.
well, I mean,
Let me
it's
find
like
that
this.
verse. It is Second Thessalonians. It starts in 2:9, where it says, "The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan with all power and false signs and wonders, and with all wicked deception for those who are perishing because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. Therefore, God sends them a strong delusion so that they may believe what is false, in order that all may be condemned who did not believe the truth but had pleasure in unrighteousness." Sorry, but I just
That's a good
that's where
verse.
my mind is.
No, that's a good
When I
that's a good
think about
verse.
what I see happening on YouTube, and like the way these people will just literally go in and hate bond with people and latch on to these false narratives, and they're just willing to believe anything without any proof or any type of willingness to be open-minded and consider, hey, you know, where's the source of the information? Is this factual? Nobody cares. All they cared about is this. It is just so wild. And this is the verse. This is what my husband told me. And I can't disagree with him, because this is when he read that to me, I was like, wow.
I
That,
mean, it's the truth. It
yeah,
Well, it's the word, and I mean, the word is the truth. Um, I can't control them no more than I could control the weather, and don't care to even try to, because there's one person that I have to stand and give an account for, and that's me. That's what I do. The things that come out of my mouth, and I just I refuse to sell out. I refuse to
me too.
I refuse to drag people without facts for subs. I mean, if there's 6 people or 600, I don't care. I'll be doing me.
Yeah.
And that's what you call real. I'm not fake.
Exactly.
I'm me 24/7, 365. And if people don't like me, they don't have to. I might not like you too good.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I
I ain't
said.
asking
People are not going to
nobody to.
change us like from what we're doing. We just have to continue to be our best version of ourselves and do what we've got to do. Because I'm not going to digress into back to childhood, back to when I was 13 years old and start doing all this bickering and fighting, because that's really not helping anything at all in this world. You know, this is serious business, and what these people are doing is wrong. And I really think that it's going to come down to that we're going to have to push for more laws, which is something Chasing Truth has talked about, to prevent this from happening. Because there's people out here that truly are just trying to share the awareness to help these missing kids and adults be found for their families. But then there's others that just take it too far. And every day I'm shocked how far people are willing to go. And it is like selling their soul to just do whatever. But I promise you, what comes around goes around, comes around goes around, and it will come all the way back around. And I hope I'm there to see it.
I agree. But the point in my life, how many do you see doing good? How many do you see actually going out and helping the underprivileged, helping? A lot of these people, Duchess, has over 10,000 subs.
Yes.
Why are they not doing fundraisers like that?
I know Nonsense just reached 10K, and she's doing her first Pay It Forward YouTube giving live stream tomorrow, I think, to charity. And, you know, I can't understand why all these other people have over 10,000 subs and they don't do some of their live streams and let the money go to a charity. I mean, nobody says you have to do that on every live stream, but I mean, that's been my goal since I created my channel, was to be able to reach that goal so that we could be able to do that, to pay it forward, so I could allow my members to choose where, you know, we could have a vote where people would like their donations to go for that month or whenever we're going to do it. You know, I want people to have a say. You know, hey, let's put the money and donate it to this cause. You know, because it's just as much the people who subscribe and support my channel, it's just as much their channel as it is mine. And I think it's so important to give back. So,
well,
but I've got 9,000 subscribers, so I'm almost there. I'm working on it. I'm almost to 10K. It's been 4 years, but
that's something that I strongly disagree with YouTube on. I think that no matter how many subs somebody has, they ought to be able to do those fundraisers like that, because it does go. I mean, it's not like putting up a GoFundMe. It does actually go to whatever charity that you choose.
Exactly. It goes straight there. Yeah.
Like I said, I disagree. I don't think that you should have to have 10,000, but unfortunately you do.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. If I only did one stream a month, it would be for something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I think it would be amazing. And thank you, Chatty, by the way, for supporting my platform and all that we do. You know, I make missing flyers and they're free. And the reason they're free is because my members help to pay for the apps that I use to be able to make all of these things. And, you know, to make the shorts and the videos and to put them out onto all the social media platforms. Like, you guys are the ones that make that possible for these families. and for people who need it. Like anybody can reach out and ask me to make one, and I'm happy to do it. And I'm happy to share any case. If somebody messages me and says, "Hey, there's this case," Running Bear just messaged me under my community post and was like, "Hey, there's this kid that's missing. Can you share their flyer?" And I did. You know, and that's really what we're here. That's what community is about. It's about helping each other out for the greater good.
Yeah, but what I've been seeing isn't true crime. Not that going backwards and forwards junk. That's not true crime. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that's actually putting out flyers and sharing people's stories. I'm not talking about those people. We all know who has the creators that's had one child's name in a title over and over and over and over again, and don't cover nobody else now. Don't mention another kid. Probably wouldn't give a kid 50 cents to put in a gumball machine, if we're being honest about it, if they saw them at Walmart.
True.
They want to be on here. They want to be on here saying they care about these kids. I beg to differ, and I'll call you a liar, because that's what you is. And I'm just country enough to say that's what you is.
It's the strangest thing that I've ever seen. We have people on this app that find it more important to be live than taking care of their own families or worrying about their own real life stuff. And they'll get on here and cry and just play victim, and then just immediately go into bashing families and making up lies, spreading misinformation, disinformation, and then cry when somebody tells them that what they're doing is wrong. It is the craziest thing that I've ever seen. And I'm thinking, how did we get to a time in history where everybody is so soft? They want to go so hard, but they're so soft. They can put it out, but they can't take it. It's just,
Exactly.
it's mind blowing. I don't know. I wasn't raised
And
like that.
then-
I was born in the 70s. Okay. I mean, I wasn't
You-
raised like that.
You know me, Dutch. You know me.
I do.
Normally, if something about the junk is mentioned, I shy away from it, do I not? But
Yep.
when it comes to people saying that they have CPS files, now I don't care who they are. You get my attention. You may not see it on Facebook or on YouTube, but do be warned, you've got my attention. I don't care a bit to tell you. So if people have those, show the proof that you have it. Show the cover thing, because I won't know. Don't give the information in it. Just show that you actually got one.
The fact that they're even discussing these CPS records, and then I hear different creators saying, I've seen the CPS papers, I got the CPS papers, so and so sent me the CPS papers. Somebody's fixing to be in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Because if I see the CPS papers, I will report it. And you know darn good and well I have the connection to do it with.
I know you do.
I'll find out how they got out. I don't care if it's a bounty hunter. I don't care if it's a a family member. I don't care.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be filed in court under a seal. So
CPS reports. I mean, that's on a minor, y'all. Think about that. Let's say little Jill went missing, and everybody pulled a CPS paper on little Jill. Do you know what you're exposing? Do you know who you're hurting?
listen, if there's something that needs to be
You're
taken
hurting
care
little
of,
Jill. Those
I
documents
assure
belong
you,
to the
law
state.
enforcement will do
It
it.
takes attorneys to get them. The attorneys sign a paper saying that they will not release them. You know, kind of like when you get on these, what a lot of these YouTubers want to use to check a background. Well, guess what you did? You clicked I agree at the beginning of it, meaning you won't share that information. If you do, it's against the law.
Yeah, and that's how Seth obtained the CPS papers. He went through an attorney. But I'm sure he had to sign documents that says he will not disclose these to the public.
Oh, no doubt.
So
No
if they
doubt.
get leaked, it's going to come back on him. Maybe he doesn't think that's true. I know he's saying that Michaela stole them out of his phone, but if they get out, he is still responsible.
It's going to be on the person that signed for it. You
That's
guarantee
right.
it is.
No matter what his excuse is, it doesn't matter. He'll still be held accountable for that. I promise you.
Listen, you can get your own CPS files, but you have to be 21 to
illegal.
do it in most states.
Yeah, because
You have to be an adult. Some states
'cause
are
you have to
18, some
have-
is 21.
Don't you have to have proper authorization, like from the court? And you know the court is not going to say you can release them to the public on YouTube.
No.
That's not
no,
gonna
the court
happen.
is not, they're not
No,
going to agree with that. I mean, and everybody wants to sit back and blame CPS. Let me tell you a little something about CPS. CPS is overloaded. They are. They have a whole lot of cases that they deal with. Each worker they're overloaded with cases. And there's not enough foster parents to take these kids in. There's not. Now, if you had everybody out there stepping up to the plate that can, and that's fit, I mean, if you can pass that fingerprint background check, you know, the federal one, if you can pass that one and become a foster parent and help these kids, that would be great. But you got a lot that just wants to dog CPS. Now, I'm not saying there ain't workers that don't do their job. In every avenue of life, there's good and bad. But you know what? That's a choice we individually, we all make. Which one's it going to be? Because I don't know about everybody else, but I'm getting about sick and tired of all this doggone drama right here at the holidays when people could be helping people. But no, they want to get on here and act like 2-year-olds. I got 3 2-year-olds that act more adult.
Exactly. And from what I understand, I have a friend that works in another state, and she works for CPS. And, you know, she had said something like, you know, because I was asking about if there's CPS papers that are filed, you know, and she said, well, if the child is in the immediate threat of danger or bodily harmed, the child would have been removed. She said, you know, you can have a CPS case that somebody reports, but we go out and investigate. And if there isn't any evidence, and she said, and you would be amazed at how many cases we have where people call CPS on each other or they report something and there's really not anything. But we have to investigate every situation. And he said, and then if there's
Absolutely.
nothing we can find to support that, then, you know, it'll be closed.
And you
And I said,
know
well, what if
what?
somebody tries to use that against somebody else? And she said, oh, that's not good at all. She said, using that as a threat. She said, oh, the judge. But I just want to
Yeah.
say that if there was a threat, they would have been removed. And that should be the standard for all states. And I just wanted to hear your feedback on that.
Okay. If a report is made, they have to investigate that report. Now, that doesn't always mean that they pull them out of the home and put them into a foster home. There is something called
Correct.
kinship where they can put them with a family member. But during that time, they have to be supervised if they're allowed to be around them. A lot of times they're not allowed to be around them until the investigation is done and they are cleared to be able to return to parents. Because contrary to popular belief, foster care it's designed for reunification. That's their number one go is to be able to reunify children with their parents. There's cases that is impossible. It's not in the best interest of the kid. But now when you hear a lot of these people saying, well, they took my kids, never gave me a chance, just took I'm sorry. No, they do everything in their power to get the parents help that
Right.
they need.
She did tell me
And
that
it's
too.
free. It is free. Right down to their attorneys. It is free. But these cases don't belong to the parents.
Right.
They
Right.
belong
That's
to the
the
state.
state. Mm-hmm.
That's just
But I
like
just thought
going to a hospital. You're not okay. For instance, you can look up any minor if they have been anybody. If they've got in trouble as a minor, you're not going to find that out. That's sealed. Same way with CPS.
right.
But I think it's a doggone shame that people can't just look at the facts that are there. The facts. Now, I'm not talking about the fictional stories that people like to tell themselves at night to make their narrative sound more believable and feel, I guess, better about themselves. They end up convincing their own selves of the bullcrap. But I don't understand why people just can't do that. Print off some of these flyers, hang them up. I mean, you don't want to donate to a charity. You don't want to donate toys to kids for Christmas. You don't want to do anything like that. Well, I mean, do you, boo? But print off a couple flyers and hang them up. You don't know where these kids are. They could be in your neighborhood. And you better
Yeah.
hope you ain't wearing a green hoodie when they're found.
That's the truth. I mean, instead of engaging in all this hate on YouTube, like, why not just share a community post on YouTube? Share a Facebook flyer that someone has shared. Like, it's that simple. Just hit the share button.
And I'm sorry, but this is how I feel about the almighty bounty hunter. You're looking for your next reality show, and I'm sorry, but your fame ended a long time ago.
Yeah, everything has its season, and I think that season has come to an end.
If you have $250,000, then why don't you donate it? Because I will tell you one difference between Upchurch and you. He did get that $100,000 and Hellcat. You going to do something like that?
I don't
And if you've
understand
got
how
that
you
kind of
can do
money,
that if he
do good
owes
with
all
it.
this tax money. How are you gonna do that? I mean, I have to ask. I mean, dog owes all this tax money, but he's out here saying he's got $250,000 they've raised for Sebastian. But where is it? I bet you it's in a promissory note, like I promise that if something happens, there'll be this reward. But when I saw him dangling that on X, I was like, take that off the table. I just don't like it. I don't know how people
Says
can't
my,
see that.
me either. Says my nephew is 40 now, but when he was a toddler, he was learning to walk and bumped his forehead. Well, the doctor called and report was made, but it was closed. The doctor had a duty to report it to protect my nephew in case there was something, to protect his license, etc. Absolutely. And now, if you want to, you see a kid, there is a rule of thumb. And during continuing education and when you are being licensed as a foster parent, they drill this into your head. If they don't cruise, they don't bruise. Meaning if they aren't crawling or trying to learn to walk, they should not have bruises on them. But now, if you see a kid and they've got a bruise on their ear, their underarms, places that you don't hit when you fall, that kid's probably being abused. Because that ear don't bruise easily. Under your arms, you don't hardly ever hit that. If anything, you use your hands to try to catch yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Another little tall tale that a lot of people may not know is babies that don't cry is not always a good thing. Because I literally went to tears when I heard this. It takes 3 days for an infant to realize that the mom isn't coming when it cries. So after that, it just quits.
That is so sad.
Broke my heart, Dutch.
That
The
is
fact, I mean, you would think 3 days cry is just a short period of time, but if a kid is crying, that is, I mean, if I can't calm my kid down just a little bit, I get all upset.
I don't that like to break
I
me.
can't imagine just letting one lay in a playpen or something and cry.
Mm. That hurts my soul.
Another one of the training episodes, they show you videos that they showed us. There was this little boy, he went to, her comment reminded me of this. He went to the hospital or to the doctor, and he had a bruise on his sternum, right in the middle, like where your rib cage is. The mom was saying it was from the car seat, that she nicked him when she tried to put the car seat over him. Well, it was standard procedure to have him checked out because he had that bruise there. And the kid had internal bleeding. So sometimes what looks like it may be little can be a big issue.
Oh gosh. That's sad.
But there is so many kids that needs help. And like I said, I mean, I ain't saying for everybody run out and become a foster parent. I know that isn't even plausible. Okay, some people just don't even need kids, period. But there's plenty of things you can do. You can donate to the organizations that actually do help these kids. everybody has a skill. Maybe you draw. Dutch is a fine painter, but they take volunteers, you all, where you can give classes to these kids, or just have a day painting and stuff. Or I'm saying that because Dutch is up here and I know what her talent, one of her talents, many talents is. Michelle, she's a good author.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you can take the talents we do every single day and donate this, and that's taking very little time. People spending more time on YouTube. We've been on here for almost 2.5 hours. That's long for my lives, but do you know what a difference you can make in 2.5 hours to a kid that hasn't got to do these things? I play piano. I could go down there and help with that. Maybe you're real intelligent. These kids needs tutors. Maybe you're a good listener. They need mentors. And you don't have to be in the foster care system to be in CASA. And that's where you can actually go in and be a voice for the voiceless, which is these children that don't have a say in how the system is run in the first place.
Yeah, and I want to.
Yeah, I'm on that too.
I hate to change the subject, but I do want to make sure that I mention this because I was just getting another text about the stuff that's going on under Dog's tweet on Twitter. And you know, this green hoodie woman, now that Dog has called out that it's a woman. I just want to read this tweet and then I want to make a comment that I think is really important for y'all to take away from this. He says, Dog Nation, this so-called alleged private investigator, which he's talking about SF investigates, claimed his clients, the Proudfoots, are under extreme pressure. Maybe that's because they didn't want you to know the truth about who Green Hoodie really is. You see what he did there. They said it was an elderly man, but guess what? It's a woman. Does they mean 3 or 4 people involved on top of several other felonies which carry life sentences? Are they also afraid of conspiracy charges? Last chance, reward $250,000. Call 833-TELL-DOG or the Sumner Sheriff's Department. They are insinuating that this is her mom, which we have discussed at length. With, except for just a brief couple of times, since what happened to her as a child. And y'all, this is dangerous because her mother is being watched closely where she's at. I guarantee you, she hasn't left Virginia. And if people think this is Katie's family, they're going to start stalking her family. And I just don't think this is right at all, because where is your proof? Let law enforcement do their investigation because they are the ones that are responsible for this case. And I just feel like somebody could get hurt. This is not good. There are people in the comments saying, yes, let's go find Green Hoodie lady. I definitely think it looks very similar to the woman who was seen with the kid in North Carolina. It's definitely her mom. You don't know that is not her mom. It was proven in North Carolina that that kid was not Sebastian, and that woman did not even know Katie, and that kid was not him. But now they're saying it's the same person. Y'all, this is what I'm talking about. Somebody starts something and then it sets a fire and then it starts gaining traction and people just, it really makes my blood pressure.
Ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I mean, and I will say this, and I don't care a bit too. If that causes an innocent person to be harmed, I think Dog the Bounty Hunter ought to be thrown so far under the jail that he'd have to look up to dig oil.
Yeah. Now, if law enforcement investigates it and finds out that XXX is true, then I'll accept it. But not until then. I mean, it's like putting a bounty on somebody. Somebody could
you
get
cut out.
hurt, y'all, and they might be innocent. Hey, crazy B6, you hope Green Hoodie comes forward and sues all these fools?
Well, technically, right now, anybody in a green hoodie could, because they don't know who they're talking about. It just started out green hoodie guy. Now it's green hoodie girl. And I imagine that's because they're trying to fit it into a narrative.
Lord, now they got a picture
if
of
these
this
people
woman
actually
in the
cared about kids,
restaurant.
they'd be doing things for kids before kids go missing. No. When do they do it? They do it after they go missing. Then every single day, doing a live on it, collecting all the super chats that they can, and then calling it a doggone job. Guess what? My granny called it gossip.
That's right.
Afraid there's a lot of people need to get out here and get them a job instead of being on YouTube and calling it one.
It's just the craziest thing. It's you're right, they had that footage from day one. If there was anything to it, they would have done something. If it's something that needed to be investigated, that footage would not be released. People, let's use our common sense. Nobody would have that footage if they thought anything was in it that needed to be investigated, including green hoodie person. Hang on, I got a text. I got to check because somebody's telling me something that I might need to tell you. Ever heard of a channel called 5D?
No.
Me either. But apparently, one of my mods is telling me that the Lord Lodge is talking about me on a channel, but the channel is actually called 5D. Well, I knew that Lord Lodge discussed my interview with Chris and Katie. I watched that live, and he made my blood pressure go up too, because then he started doing all this weird stuff. Instead of sticking to the facts, he started putting in all his opinions, and I don't think it was very helpful. But they said that I guess they were talking about me and you and the Proudfoots. I don't know. I guess somebody is
Me
saying
and the
that 5D
Proudfoots?
is me and you and the Proudfoots is what they're telling me. I was like, I'm gonna have to go find this channel because I don't
Me
know what
as in
they're
the person
saying.
that's seen it, or me as in Cold Case Crystal?
You as in Cold Case Crystal, me
Well, let's
and
find out what's being
you.
said. 5D?
5D is what they're telling me. I told them to send me the link to that channel. And apparently Smiley smack talking Julie over there. I don't know what that's about, but I don't give a shit.
That's not 5D.
Let them go with each other, because I ain't got time for it. I got grown people shit to deal with. I ain't got time to do all this childish nonsense.
Yeah,
I can't.
find
I
no
just.
5D. They must not be important enough to pop up in the algorithm. I'll tell
I
them
think
that
they're
right now.
playing the Lore Lodge's old. I think they're playing the Lore Lodge's old live stream that he did about Sebastian. Because yeah, the Lore Lodge did bring up and play some of my interview, and you were on panel for part of that. Yeah, you made it to the Lore Lodge, Crystal, didn't you know?
No, I didn't. If they that tells me one thing. That tells me somebody ain't a very good sleuth, or they know Crystal don't have too much to do with this case. I don't mention it very often because there is so much junk in it.
I know, but it's
And
because we were one of the first people talking about it. You and Arctic and me were up on panel when Chris came up, remember?
yeah, and
And
we
that's
talked
what
about
he
it,
was,
and that was
that's
it.
what the Lore Lodge was talking about, I guess. But why this person is clipping it and putting that on their channel, like, bro, go get your own content. Why are you putting somebody else's content on your channel? Like,
Well, I mean, I don't care as long as they ain't saying no junk about me. I don't give a care. People
okay,
that know
wait,
me
I got a
know me.
link. Hang on. They have 1.4 thousand subscribers. Let me see if I can get this link.
Of course they do.
That don't
Oh,
sound like
Jesus.
that's Lore Lodge. I mean, in
Not
my
if
opinion.
5D is playing Lore Lodge. Ain't that what you said?
But I don't think it's them. You know what I'm saying? Let me grab this link. Okay, I'm going to drop it in the chat.
The back chat or what?
I dropped it in the chat.
I can't click on it on StreamYards. I can put it up here.
Let me see if I can. Let me send it to
me in
my...
Discord.
Well,
Just
for
send it to me
anybody
on
else who wants to
Discord.
check it out, I don't think that's the Lore Lodge. I think that's some other channel, in my opinion. I'm going to send it to you on Discord. I'm sorry to change the subject, but I mean, I see, obviously, there's my picture on the thumbnail. Or
Well,
I
I said,
don't know why.
wait a minute. No, that is the Lore Lodge.
Yeah, but I mean, who's 5D? Couldn't he just have recorded and clipped it?
You would think. There, I'll show you what's going on up in here. Well, where are we? Just a second. Let me find.
Yeah, I think it's just a replay of the Lore Lodge covering my interviews. Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, wait. Okay. I'm trying to find it now. It was down here. Maybe it's here. Here it is. See?
And Nancy asked, so there's only one car at the home.
I don't understand that. What?
And personally, after but research this case, well,
I know one thing, they ain't stopping to play it.
Company did. She just asked the make,
It's
model,
5
and
minutes
year
of it.
of a car that was sitting in the Proudfoot's driveway in their possession. And Chris only answered, we
Okay. I'm not helping spread that. It's 5 minute clip of the Lore Lodge.
I just, yeah, did have an echo, Michelle. Yeah. That was crazy. I don't even know. Like, just go get your own content. Why are you clipping the Lore Lodge? If people wanted to see what he had to say, they would just go to the Lore Lodge and watch it. I don't know. Who the hell knows? It's just another channel pushing the misinformation, in my opinion. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, Crystal.
I know.
Do something
But-
damn constructive with your time. If you're going to make videos and stuff, like do something good or positive, or do something that's going to help somebody. Like,
Which is the point of
don't
this
have
live
if you
stream.
can't beat them, join them
If you
attitude, because
If
that's
you
not
have
working.
that much time on your hands, there's a lot you can do.
Amen to that.
But I'm going to get off here. Dutchie, thank you for coming up.
Thank you for having
I
me.
love you,
I
sis.
love you, sis, so very much. And I'm going to pop down.
All righty. Thank you. You all, if you haven't took away anything, please take away this. With all the crazy that is going on, it is the holidays. If you have got that much time on your hands to where you can sit and just rerun a narrative and tell little fairy tale stories to everybody and try to convince them this happened and that happened, and you're looking for a green hoodie guy, now he's a green hoodie girl, you have time to go out here and help the less fortunate. I don't care if it's a homeless person. I don't care if it's a little old lady that lives next door to you. Maybe she's a widow. Maybe she could use some help with her groceries, getting them into her house, or donating to the children's home. Do something if you've got that much time on your hands. But I do challenge you to do this. Log off. Just log off. Prove that you can go that day without them doggone super chats and memberships flying up because you're sitting there spewing junk. Get out here and help a family. There's plenty of them that need it. Go to your grocery store, buy a little extra groceries. Put it in that donate buggy. Whatever you have to do. But do something good. Because God knows there's been enough harm done already. And what you're doing isn't helping. There's a lot of people out there that could use the kindness of others. And that's about all I had to say. Like I said, in this particular case, I ain't got no sides. I don't know what happened. I don't even know if there is a side, if that makes sense. Should just be about Sebastian. But unfortunately, because you've got some greedy people online that would sell their soul for a sub, it's turned into a crap show. It's not what I call true crime. True crime should be reporting about a case and giving facts behind it. Facts that you can prove. Okay? Real ones. Not somebody that decided to go to the Texas Roadhouse that day and have them a steak and just so happened to be wearing a green hoodie. And if you have $250,000, do some good with it. Let's see you help out some charities out there. Instead of trying to spark up your next reality show. Some people just need to retire. And with that, it takes zero effort to be a good human being. I love y'all. We'll talk about RFK tonight.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.